We're going to do our bug hunt song again. So here's my magnifying glass. Today we're going to look for ants. We're going on a bug hunt.
We're going on a bug hunt.
We're going to catch lots of bugs.
We're going to catch lots of bugs.
What a cloudy day.
What a cloudy day.
Are you ready?
Are ya ready?
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, there's a little bug in this jar. I'm just pretending. Poor little bug in the jar. No one to love him at all. No one to wash his clothes. No one to tickle his toes. Poor little bug in the jar. Let's do a whispering voice. Poor little bug in the jar. No one to love him at all. No one to wash his clothes. No one to tickle his toes. Poor little bug in the jar. Now can we do a laughing voice? This is always funny. Poor little bug in the jar. No one to love him at all. No one to wash his clothes. No one to tickle his toes. Poor little bug in the jar. Now can we do our daddy voice? Poor little bug in the jar. No one to love him at all. No one to wash his clothes. No one to tickle his toes. Poor little bug in the jar. Now we're going to sing songs about the ants. And this has been a song I've sung since I was a little girl. The ants go marching one by one, hurrah, hurrah. The ants go marching one by one, hurrah, hurrah. The ants go marching one by one. Watching ants is lots of fun. I love watching them. So let's all go marching one by one by one. The ants go marching two by two, hurrah, hurrah. The ants go marching two by two, hurrah, hurrah. The ants go marching two by two. Worker ants have lots to do. So let's all go marching two by two by two. The ants go marching three by three, hurrah, hurrah. The ants go marching three by three, hurrah, hurrah. The ants go marching three by three. The ants all live in a colony. So let's all go marching three by three by three. The ants go marching four by four, hurrah, hurrah. The ants go marching four by four, hurrah, hurrah. The ants go marching four by four. Then they shout, hey, we score. Guess what they found? They found some cake left over. So they're carrying it back to the colony. So we all feel good when marching four by four. So that was our song about the ants. I bet your mom and dad could sing that with you. But I changed the verses a little bit to teach you about the ants. But look at this ant. This is really what an ant looks like. Head, and then the thin, skinny thorax, head and thorax, and there's a big long abdomen, and 6 legs too. And look what he's carrying something. And there's his antenna. And this book's called Thinking About Ants. And I read this story every year because I just love it. I learned so much about this, about ants. So there's different sizes of ants. So look, you can see these ants are on a cherry tree because they're eating the nectar, the sap from the tree. And look, here comes a bird. Birds like to eat ants. Birds also like to eat cherries, so I don't know what the bird's going to eat first. Now, here's an idea. For a little while, think about ants. Begin by looking. Get up close to an ant. Study it. Try to put yourself in the ant's place. Think, how would it be to be an ant? So look, its eyes are at the top and its antennas are under its eyes. First of all, think small, because the largest ant in the world is only about the size of a person's thumb. And some ants are small enough to hide inside an apple seed, so think tiny. So the biggest one is the size of my thumb, but the tiniest ones are very tiny. Now think color. Black, blue, brown, red, yellowish, or greenish. An ant could be any of these colors. What color ant would you want to be? What color would you want to be, Mr. Freer, if you had one of these choices?
Purple.
No, there wasn't a purple answer. Black, blue, brown, red, yellow, or green. Those are your choices.
Green.
Green. I thought you'd say green. I'd be red. Next, think about the body of an ant. Imagine it's outside, light and tough and hard like a shell, not soft like a skin, so that their body is hard like our nail. Notice the ant's shape, a body with 3 parts, 6 legs instead of 2. And how would it be to have an ant face? 2 huge eyes, a mouth, a pair of scissor jaws, so there's the scissor jaws, to bite and tear with. No ears, no nose, instead 2 hairy feelers on your head to wave around like magic wands. They catch the smell of something in the air like food. What do ants eat? Some meat, a snack of a dead bug, a hunk of worm, a bite of a lizard, or ants will munch on a piece of a hot dog left from someone's picnic lunch. They're going to eat the leftover sandwich too. So they'll eat animals. Some ants eat seeds, some ants eat fruit. Others sip honeydew from tiny aphids. So look, remember the ladybug got the aphids? Well, the ants will eat the honeydew from the aphids. There are even ants that eat each other. There's the aphids. They're getting the honeydew from the aphids. Some ants bite. Some ants sting. Others squirt smelly acid when they're scared. If you were an ant, what would you be afraid of? Think about it. It's going to tell us on the next page. A stomping foot. Yeah, because you know what? A foot can go like this and kill the ants. A hungry flicker. So if he flicks out his tongue, he's going to eat one. A spiny anteater. Heavy rain. So if it rains really hard, it kills the ants. Bug spray. Psst, that will kill the ants. Toads. But the scariest thing in an ant's life might be another ant. That's an enemy. Where do ants live? In the dark, inside a dead tree, under a rock, or under the ground with a mound of dirt or sand to mark the spot. Remember I said they live in a colony, so look at all the rooms there are. Look at it's like a maze. Here's a maze under here. So when there's one ant, that means one ant hill, that means there's hundreds, thousands of ants inside here. An ant can live in a house between the cracks in the floor or behind the kitchen cupboard door. Even the green stem of a plant can be a home to an ant. Did you know that? They've taken the outside, they've taken it off, but really the ant would be inside the stem. That's kind of amazing. Think about living in dark places, but imagine lots of company, sisters, brothers, a family, living and working together, because an ant can't live alone. So ants always have so many family with them. In the ant nest, everyone has a job. What would you do if you were an ant? Would you be a hunter and hunt for food for everyone to share? So here come the hunters bringing the food in. Would you help build the nest? Could you carry something twice as big as you? So there's builder ants. So here there's a builder ant. He's taking the dirt out to build the new tunnel. Would you lick the ant eggs and feed the larvae that hatch out? Would you help an ant come out of the cocoon? The ants that do these things are the worker ants. So they're like the nurses and doctors. So everyone has a job. There are soldier ants too. They guard the nest. They stand at the entrance, alert, swinging their feelers, picking up all strange shapes and smells. And if an invading army comes, they're fierce. They tear their enemies to pieces with their sharp jaws. A soldier ant can bite a strange bug's head off. So what job would you, I'm going to remind you of the jobs. So you could be a hunter ant, you can be a builder ant, you could be a worker ant to take care of the babies, or you could be a soldier ant. Mr. Freer, what ant would you be?
I'm a soldier.
You'd be the soldier, and I would be the nurse ant, helping take care of the little ones. But there's one ant we can't be. Now think about the biggest ant in the nest. She's the mother of all the other ants. She's the only one who can lay eggs. All the other ants take care of her because she is the queen. So look, these are the eggs. Look how many eggs she lays. So many. A queen ant may lay 100,000 eggs in her lifetime. That is so many. One day she may lay an egg that will hatch into another queen. Like all queens, that ant will have wings. So here, this, she's a new queen. Some damp afternoon, she'll fly away with a group of male ants. So see, she's the biggest, and those are the boy ants, and there's the queen ant. They'll mate with her, and soon after that, they'll die. Then the queen will fly off alone to make a nest of her own. She'll lose her wings and begin her work. Nest maker, egg layer, ant mother, and someday she will lay an egg that hatches out a queen, and then the whole life cycle will begin again. Oh, look, she's making her nest in the strawberry patch. That's how it would be to be an ant. I bet you learned a lot about ants. I always learn a lot when I read this story. Sometimes I think they're just pesty, but then when you find out about it, they must be very smart to build those colonies and all to have their own jobs too. So you can turn it off, and when you join me for art, we're going to make ants today.